Today we're going to continue our study of Chapter 6 with Lesson 2, Atmospheric Heating. There are 3 objectives that you should be familiar with by the end of the lesson. You should be able to describe what happens to solar energy that reaches Earth, summarize the processes of radiation, thermal conduction, and convection, and explain the relationship between the greenhouse effect and the global warming theory. And yes, I added the word theory to that because it has not been proven. All right, so radiation, conduction, and convection. We've talked about these a little bit earlier in the year, so this shouldn't be totally new information. Radiation is the transfer of energy by electromagnetic waves. Convection, these are currents that are created as warm air rises and cool air sinks. Think of it as a circle. And thermal conduction happens near the Earth's surface. The air is heated. So think of conduction as something touching. Convection, think of it as a circle. Warm rise, cold sink. And then radiation, think about the sun's rays. It radiates. Electromagnetic waves. So we know that the Earth receives energy from the sun by radiation. That's the transfer of the electromagnetic waves. Thermal conduction is the transfer of thermal energy through a material, so there must be contact. Think of the CON in conduction, the CON in contact. Conduction, contact. And then convection, that's your circle, circulation. Convection is the transfer of thermal energy by the circulation or movement of either liquid or a gas. So this leads us to the greenhouse effect. We have shortwave solar energy that passes through the atmosphere. It is absorbed by the clouds and by Earth's surface. And then the clouds and Earth's surface re-radiate the solar energy as long wave energy. And then the long wave energy warms Earth and the atmosphere. So without the greenhouse effect, there would not be life on Earth. It is also the process, as this picture explains, and by which gases in the atmosphere absorb thermal energy and radiate it back to Earth, just like a greenhouse would do for plants. So you're going to go back and watch a brain pop. Make sure you're logged in ClassLink on the greenhouse effect and also complete the quiz. Remember, I am randomly selecting brain pop quizzes to be used as a grade. So some scientists think that an increase of greenhouse gases in the atmosphere may be the cause of the global warming theory. And again, I'm stressing this as a theory because it has not been proven. Henceforth, some scientists think. So you will hear it taught as fact a lot of times, but it is still a theory. So this radiation balance, you've got energy in and energy out. So too much energy in or too much energy out, both of these are bad things. So the amount of energy Earth receives and the amount of energy returned back to space must be approximately equal, give or take. So again, it's just like our food chains and our food webs and this whole circle of life thing. Everything has to stay in balance. And without that balance, there are going to be consequences from that. So the scientists that believe in that global warming is actually occurring, they're saying that too much heat is getting in, or by the way of burning fossil fuels, we're allowing the atmosphere to heat up in ways that it was never intended to be. So there's 2 sides to the story. This is the end of Lesson 6.2. You will not watch Bill Nye Pollution, which is on the next slide today. You will watch that later. So here is the Bill Nye Pollution. And then next time we will talk about global winds and local winds.